everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown sitting right along ringside. And by golly, I'll tell you what, we are ready for championship wrestling today, Dave, and I love it.
Oh, I tell you, we've got a TV title match to get things started today. And this one, Dutch Mantell will be here. He'll be defending his TV title against Kevin Sullivan. Then we will have Tim Leonard. Our first look at Tim Leonard. Jonesboro's on Championship Wrestling. He'll be going against Wayne Ferris in a single match today. Coco Ware and Ron Sexton team up in an expiration of time match against the Japanese team of Mr. Onita and Masafuchi with Tojo Yamamoto in their corner. Big day coming up.
Well, you got that right. Championship match coming up. We've got an expiration of time that just won't stop. We've got ourselves some great-looking action lined up on Championship Wrestling. One way to get to it is to do it. Let's do that right now. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, we're looking forward to this championship today. Here's a typical example. Right in the ring right now is the champion already standing in there. No nonsense. Let us get it on. Hart's got to make a grand entrance with Kevin Sullivan in this whole thing. Okay, Dave, we'll get the official introductions and also have a little story to tell about this particular match in there.
All right, this is a TV title match. The television title on the line. One fall, 15-minute time limit. The challenger from Boston, Massachusetts, 220 pounds with his manager, Jimmy Hart, Kevin Sullivan. The champion, 224 pounds from Oil Trough, Texas, Dutch Mantell. One fall, 15-minute time limit. The TV title on the line.
Well, I'll tell you, this is going to be a whaler, too, man. Kevin Sullivan, Dutch Mantell. Jimmy Hart up there in, of course, obviously Sullivan's corner. Sullivan giving it the big pose and showing off all the big muscles. I think we are ready for action. Here we go. Story as they're getting started, Dave, I want to tell is Hart, of course, you know and everybody knows that Mantell just walked away from Hart. He hasn't spoken to Hart since that time. It's really gotten to him. Hart has been making all this static about the fact that Mantell, since he won the title, has not defended against anybody except a mismatch. Now, this is not to put Vinny Romeo down. You remember we had a match here with Dutch and Vinny. Vinny, a good young fellow, but obviously doesn't have the experience that Mantell does. Hart finally got what he wanted. He bagged him into a match here with Kevin Sullivan because Dutch made it very clear he wasn't afraid to take anybody on. Bring him on. He'd defend it, and that's what he's got today. Should be a great match.
That's where we are, in the middle of it. TV title on the line, and we are now about 50 seconds into the action. Kevin Sullivan dropped Mantell down to the mat, hair pulling. Yes, sir.
Sullivan showing how smart he was. He's pointing to the wrong thing. He should have been pointing to his hair because that's just, again, that's what he's doing, grabbing Mantell by the hair. He's monkeying with the wrong guy because, remember, Dirty Dutch knows all there is to know about that sort of thing, too.
Yes, sir. Many of them he has made frequent use of himself in times past. Dutch Mantell round behind him. Dutch puts Sullivan down to the mat. Quick cover at a count of one. Sullivan breaks out of it. Sullivan screaming about his hair. Dutch Mantell not pulling his hair. He's using that upper arm. Sullivan has Dutch's arm hooked. Shoulders are up. Dutch bridges with his feet and the top of his head. Keeps the shoulders up off the mat.
Boy, that's difficult, too, to sustain that when a guy's laying on top of you like that, or at least partially the way Sullivan is. Sullivan putting heat on the chin, too, Davey.
Referee Jerry Calhoun right there. Well, shoulders down. Briefly, a one count. Dutch literally trying to shake him. Trying to break that right arm free.
Look at the muscles on this Sullivan, man. He bulges everywhere.
Whoa. Open hand by Sullivan. It was legal, but a mistake nonetheless. And Mantell came off of that mat, ran Sullivan out of the ring. Now Sullivan and Jimmy Hart get together, and they're all smiles. Oh, did you see what I did to it, Jim?
Yeah, of course, that's all part of the Hart-Sullivan strategy, Dave, is the fact that if they can make a guy mad, he may lose his cool and thereby set in problems for the opponent.
I think they have made him mad, all right. No doubt about that. Sullivan comes out of the ring. Dutch Mantell trying to get at him.
Hart got what he wanted, and that was a title match for Sullivan. He may not be too happy that he got a match with Mantell.
All right, referee Jerry Calhoun telling both of them, keep the fist open, no more fists. We're coming up on the 4-minute mark. 4 minutes gone. Oh, big broad arm by Dutch Mantell. Sullivan in the air. The knee drop. A cover by Dutch. Count is one, only one. Shoulder up off the mat by Sullivan. Right shoulder came up at the 1 count. Dutch Mantell has Sullivan pretty well tied up now. Got both his arms pinned. Over in a corner. Referee wants him out of the corner. Calhoun's telling him, hey, have a little more wrestling, a little less punching going in there.
He's also trying to tell them about when they get on the ropes, let's have a break and don't start all that fighting in there, which Sullivan is the one that started it. Hart staying on referee Jerry Calhoun about the illegal tactics of Mantell. Has a strange way of overlooking anything Sullivan does.
Yeah. 5 minutes gone.
5 minutes down, 10 to go in this championship match.
Hart up out of his chair complaining. Dutch Mantell, he thought about some hair pulling there, but thought better of it just about the time the referee was warning him of the same thing. A couple of strong guys. Sullivan off the rope, shoulder butt. Dutch Mantell hits the mat. He sets himself, picks Sullivan up, body slams him. Dutch to the rope. Shoulders down. Sullivan gets the 1 count on himself, and then he breaks out of it. Yanks Dutch Mantell down to the mat, and he's got a face lock on him.
I didn't see how Sullivan broke it. It looked like the way Dutch's head snapped, Dave, that he might have grabbed that hair again. I just really couldn't tell.
Couldn't see for sure from this angle, but certainly we suspect that.
Dutch got a hold of Sullivan's hair, and the referee's saying, get your hand out, get your hand out.
Sullivan, boy, hanging on. Now he breaks the hold, fires the forearm. Body slams. Mantell out of the way as Sullivan was going to follow through.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hair pulling. That's the way Sullivan broke out of it that time, as Mantell had those shoulders down. Mantell reached up, grabbed a big handful of hair, and suddenly his shoulder's no longer down. Mantell about to do the same thing, but the referee stopped it. Mantell again grabs Sullivan's hair. That was a fist. Kevin Sullivan, right fist doubles. Sullivan really attacking Dutch Mantell back in the corner. Dutch out on the apron. Rolls down onto the floor. Sullivan steps out of the ring, coming after him. Dutch's head popped into the apron. Ooh, Dutch rammed into the ring post. Look out. Into the table. Kevin Sullivan now heads back to the ring. Dutch Mantell down here on the floor. He starts back to the apron. Nailed by Sullivan with the boot. Kevin Sullivan using the fifth. We're 8 minutes into the action. 8 minutes gone, 7 minutes left to wrestle in this championship match.
Sullivan's a good candidate for disqualification, but knowing Dutch, the kind of guy he is, he'd rather handle it himself and let the rules or